Have you ever found yourself in this situation before, having to tear your precious ShaperTape markers? Are you thinking there must be a better way? Are you tired of meticulously separating your dominoes using a ruler? Are you a student who whines about every cent he has to spend? Then look no further. Introducing the ShaperTaper.
ShaperTaper makes the world a better place. By using cutting-edge proprietary blockchain technology running in the cloud, we're taking the next step in Internet 4.0 development with AI, robotics, smart Bitcoin, NFT, data, augmented.
What is going on here, you are invited to ask? Well, before I explain to you why I created the most innovative, the most useless accessory for your Shaper origin, let me show you how it works. I've loaded a roll of tape into the ShaperTaper. While I hold down this button, I can dispense an arbitrary length of tape until I reach the edge of my workpiece. As soon as I let go, the ShaperTaper will engage its braking mechanism at the next white space between two dominoes. The tape can now be separated while preserving the integrity of both markers. The ShaperTaper keeps track of how many fiducials it has dispensed and displays that info together with the dispensed tape length. It can also calculate the remaining amount of tape. I'm thinking about implementing a function that lets you preset or record a specific amount of dominoes. This could be used to create several similar strips of tape for a given board size. If the obvious fun factor of the ShaperTaper hasn't convinced you of its raison d'être yet, then the tremendous cost savings will. Disclaimer, of course I didn't build this device just to save a few cents on each roll of ShaperTape. The tape isn't expensive and it's quick and easy enough to just tear the tape over the edge of your workpiece. But just for fun, let's do the math anyways. A single roll holds 45 meters of ShaperTape. In imperial units, that's 5,314 barleycorns of precious black and white fiducials. I assume an average tape strip length of 60 centimeters, sometimes less on smaller projects, sometimes more when working on a dining table or so. My second assumption is that one domino is destroyed on every separation. The reason being that you not only have to precisely hit the 3 mm white space between two markers, but also have to create a more or less straight tear. With these parameters, we'll destroy a total of 75 dominoes over the reel's lifetime. That's 3.45 meters or 7.7% of wasted ShaperTape. With a price tag per roll of 16 euros, €1.23 worth of markers remain unused. I know, right? Those times are over. With the ShaperTaper, you can waste as little as 0.0% of your cute dotted friends. Save real money now and order your own ShaperTaper for just $299.99. Let's take a quick look under the hood. The two halves are fastened together by these three magnets. Back here is where the tape spool sits. The housing design ensures that the tape travels in parallel to the optical sensor, independently of the reel's diameter. This linear motion mechanism is responsible for increasing the friction on the tape and therefore acts as a brake. I added some rubbery glue to the top surface to improve its functionality. The servo motor is controlled by the brain of the ShaperTaper, an Arduino Nano. The Arduino additionally reads the optical sensor, as well as the two buttons, and manages the OLED display. For powering the device, I used a small LiPo battery connected to a charging and voltage conditioning PCB. The optical sensor is mounted exactly one domino length away from the tearing blade. Adjustments in the range of a few millimeters can be made to the sensor's position to get the cut location just right. I discussed a couple of mechanical concepts for the braking system with a friend, but this one seemed the simplest with the least amount of parts involved. We also spoke about automatically cutting the tape, but I decided to omit that feature due to security considerations and the fact that the freshly cut tape might be hard to reach. I hope you enjoyed my totally non-exaggerated ShaperTaper pitch. Here's where you can contribute. I don't quite know where to take this project. Are you interested in building your own? The wooden housing can be milled in an afternoon, and I could write a bill of materials for the electronics so you can order and assemble them yourself. If you don't have a Shaper origin, that would be the perfect opportunity to lend one from a friend without telling them why and shapering an over-engineered tape dispenser for them. Instead, should I design a single pre-assembled circuit board that you can order and stick into your own housing? Would you prefer this being a finished working device including a housing? Or do you find the ShaperTaper entertaining but nevertheless utterly useless? I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments. Alright, that's it concerning the ShaperTaper. Thanks, as always, for watching. It's really fun to do these projects knowing that people like you care about them and keep coming back to the BodgedButWorks community to check out what we're doing. So I hope to see you soon. Bye.
In contrast to my ShaperTape role, this video isn't at all fake.